Hello, my friends. Happy Wednesday. It's Survivor Day. I'm very excited for Survivor tonight. We get the tribe swap. CBS has put out a promo that basically shows us exactly who's on each tribe. I was just trying to pull up the... Where is it? Here? This? Yes. Shout out to Mike Bloom for this tweet. And spoiler alert, if you don't want to know for another 6 hours who the new tribes are, but the tribe swap is as follows. New Bello has Austin, Brando, Drew, Emily, and Kendra. So that's 2 original Bellos, 2 original Rebas, and 1 Lulu. The Lulus did get split up, 1 to each tribe, which I think is interesting. New Lulu is Bruce, Jake, Caleb, Katura, and Kelly. So that's 4 Bellos and Caleb. And new Reba is D, J Maya, Julie, Sean, and Sifu, which is 4 Rebas and Sean. Survivor talk. Yeah, new Lulu is looking strong. Bruce, Drake, Caleb, Katura, and Kelly. Yeah, new Lulu I think is going to be in great shape. My feeling is it might be Reba going to Tribal Council tonight. D, J Maya, Julie, Sean, and Sifu. Nobody's sitting anybody out. Like, I know they've got Sifu, but they've also got all of the other people I just said. And if that's the case, I don't know. I think Dee and Julie are in a great spot because they're together with their number 1. Same thing for Austin and Drew. I don't think Bella's going to Tribal Council, but Austin and Drew got swapped together, which is really good for them. And I don't think... I don't know. I've been awaiting J Maya's vote out because she is invisible on the show. Yeah, it's a strong possibility that if new Reba goes to Tribal Council... Hi, Aldo. Hello. It's certainly possible that it's J Maya. It's also possible that it's Sifu. Maybe not if they lose and they're like, oh, we can't vote out our strength. But I do think J Maya and Sifu are likely to stick together. We haven't really seen what their alliances are like because the other 4 people on that tribe are both paired and then in a quad together. And so we've mostly just seen the 2 of them being babysat. Yeah, big brother. But right now we're talking about Survivor. I jumped in while I was waiting for folks to get to the chat. Talking about the new Survivor tribes because we've seen from the promo what the split is going to be. Because I've had such a hard time trying to figure out who I'm going to say, who my prediction is for who's going home tonight in the drafts I'm doing through Make Your Picks, or who I wanted to add to my team since I lost Sabaya last week for my draft. There it is. Put it right there in the middle of the TV. Yeah, I'm so excited for Survivor tonight. I'm very high on this season. I wanted Bruce, Katura, and Emily on the same tribe. I mean, what a mess that would be. You've got Bruce and Katura stuck together over on the Lulu Beach with no fire. I think Lulu's getting fire today. Given Bruce, Jake, and Caleb, and Katura and Kelly, Lulu's in great shape. Poor Katura is going to be stuck with Bruce. Yeah, I think Caleb would be in a rough spot if they were to go to Tribal, but they won't. Lulu is old Bello plus Caleb, yeah. And new Reba is old Reba plus Sean. And the only actual shakeup tribe is Bello, which is 2 Bellos, 2 Rebas, and Emily. But I don't think... Like, that's the tribe that would probably be the most interesting to see at Tribal Council, but I don't think they're going. I think Reba's going. That would be my prediction. This has been a very good start for a new era season. I think so too. I think they have the right balance of twists and player power. Can Emily handle 4 straight tribals? Well, I don't think she's going to tribal, so I don't think it's an issue. But it would be very interesting. It would be so interesting to see what happened if they all went, because they all, they always say, yeah, the easy answer is vote out the single person, or you use that single person as the swing vote. And I feel like she's gotten good enough that she would maneuver herself into that position of, I can help you take down the numbers of one of the other tribes. Like, all things being equal, there's 6 blue and 6 red. And so now there's 2 of each in this tribe. Who do I help take out the other ones? Is how I'd be positioning myself if I were in Emily's position and they were going to tribal, which, again, I don't think they will. We've been merging or coming to the same beach, right, at 12. So they've got 3 more tribals before the merge, ostensibly. Yeah, I think I think you're right, EPLP, that there's a strong possibility that if Reba goes to tribal, we lose J Maya here. Because Dee and Julie are certainly sticking together. It may really depend on Sean's social game, and we have so little sense of Sean too. I feel like that who knows what that's gonna turn out to be. We never saw anyone claim the Bello idol, so maybe someone on New Bello can find it. It's certainly possible. If I were Emily, I'd be looking. But Austin has found one before. It's possible Austin finds one again. Seems unlikely Kendra or Brando are going to find anything if they haven't up to this point. So my money would be on Austin or Emily in that case. And if Austin has it, then Drew also has it. And if Drew has it, then everybody knows about it, because a man can't keep his mouth shut about anything. I don't know. We shall see. I guess it's Lulu that I'm sure is not going to tribal. Bello is a slight possibility. But I feel like the weakest tribe physically at this point is probably Reba. And I know that's a crazy thing to say with Sifu on that tribe, but one person can't compensate for everybody in all areas all the time. And they still have puzzle people. They still have J Maya, and I don't know who would do the puzzle with her. And sometimes it does come down to the puzzle. But I'm sticking to my prediction that Reba's going to tribal and either J Maya or Sean is going home. Really sucked to lose Sean and just have like 4 Lulus in a row leave the game. But how absolutely wild would it be if somehow Emily ends up the last remaining Lulu in the game, which seems not impossible at this point. And even that is wild. So who knows? That would explain why he was so quiet in Lulu. Yeah, so the theory was maybe that in the first episode we didn't really see him because possibly he was talking to Kendra a lot. And given that they entirely cut the twist from the episode, maybe a lot of his stuff had to get cut so that she wasn't there. And if she wasn't on the beach, he couldn't be on the beach either if they were together. But then even like from what Sabaya has said, the duos really became her and Sean, and as it turned out, and she didn't see this enough, Caleb and Emily. But what the show was giving us was more the perspective of Sabaya and Caleb which is more the Emily narrative. So that's interesting to see. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, if it would be pretty wild if for some reason 3 Rebas chose to vote out a Reba. Sean can't vote out J. Maya by himself. I feel really good Caleb and Emily are going far, and the 2 of them reuniting later. Yeah. God, as much as I don't like him, I'm really tempted to put Caleb in my draft because I do feel like he's going to be around for a while. I feel like if he gets to the merge and he's on it, and I feel like he's not going to tribal again. If he makes it to the merge, he has a good chance to win a lot of individual immunities. Everyone can read him. Everyone sees that he's schmoozing everybody. And I don't think people are falling for it. They're like, this man has so much social game. It's too much social game. And so I get the sense that people don't actually really trust him, other than Emily, obviously. But if he gets to just not be the center of attention for a few weeks, that's probably the best thing that could happen to him. But then if he starts winning individual immunities, then he's in trouble as soon as he doesn't have one. Like in that classic, everybody's comparing Austin to Ozzy or Wu, but what if Caleb is that person? Like, what if Caleb is the Wu who's like an immunity threat, who's also really charismatic? I feel good about the survivors of the Austin, Drew, Dee, and Julie quartet. If all 4 survive the swap, I see endgame for them. Yeah, it's certainly possible. I mean, I think Dee and Julie are a little bit, like, thrown off by the fact that Austin and Drew clearly were hiding things from them, but ultimately they decided to stick with that group. So we'll see how it goes. I certainly think the 4 of them are good till the merge because they each got swapped with their closest ally. I think those women wouldn't let the boys hang out that long. Which women? You think that Dee and Julie wouldn't let Austin and Drew hang out that long? I don't know if that's true. I don't know. Dee and Julie. We also just haven't gotten that much of the Reba women, really. Most of what we've gotten from Dee and Julie has been in relation to their connection to Drew and Austin. And Drew and Austin have been doing all the advantage-related stuff, so that's why they've gotten all the airtime. And then Sifu's punching trees, so sometimes we see Sifu punch a tree. And J. Maya is also technically there. Yeah, I don't know. It certainly will be an exciting episode, I think, whatever happens. It's always good to shake up tribe dynamics and get to see new groups of people together. So, like, regardless of what the outcome of the episode is, I think it's going to be an interesting episode. Hopefully we get some new perspectives from some people we haven't heard from as much. Absolutely wild that I feel like at this point, Emily's making the merge. She should have gone home. She was going home in the first episode. And she has made a remarkable turnaround. Like, I give her all the credit in the world. Because as I've said in the Discord, I think we're very similar people in a lot of ways. Like, I'm also very direct and blunt. I think I'm a more natural empath than she is. I think that's a pretty easy statement to make. But I do think I have very low tolerance for people's bullshit, and that comes across more that it maybe should in a social game like that sometimes. But I'm not trying to be on Survivor, so that's okay. But like she said, changing your attitude is really difficult, and she just fucking did it. Like, if she makes it really far in this game, she's gonna be an absolute Survivor legend. As a social player, wild. Like that David versus Goliath winner. Wait, what's like that David versus... Oh, as in he was supposed to go home the first episode. And then Pat's tweaked backs, all right. went out instead. Yeah. I don't know that we have that as concretely for sure as we do that Emily was definitely going. But that's a decent analogy, Mike. That it was very obvious Emily was going, and now it's very possible she makes it really far into the game. If she were on the tribe with Bruce instead, things might be different. I think there's a world where if she's on the tribe with Bruce, the women decide to throw the challenge to get Bruce out. I don't know. BB25 had kind of a similar situation. Oh, really? That's interesting. It would be much more impressive if she came back to as a woman. Is that what you mean? Because of the patriarchy? Oh, if she came back to win because of the patriarchy. Yeah, totally. Like, I found her comments pushing back on Bruce at the opening match chat really irritating and aggressive and unnecessary. I also would have found them to be that way coming from a man, but I think they more broadly might have been slightly better received coming from someone else. So it's interesting to see this turnaround for her. Because it did seem like she was like Cass a lot at the start, and I feel like she's had a turnaround that Cass never quite had, certainly not in her first game. And she is much younger and has less life experience than Cass did even the first time she played. So I'm fascinated to see how this goes. Yeah. And then Cass doesn't explode onto the scene until the flip. Mm-hmm. So Cass eased herself in. Yeah. Yeah, I think Emily's in a good spot now. I would be so curious to see what would happen if they went to a tribal council. They do now have... then who was going... Yeah, well, she went along to the end because they were like, no one's going to vote for her. I'm curious because the turnaround happened so early for Emily. That'll be the same case. Like, I think if she just chills out and uses like the social skills that she's learned in the last week, literally a week, they've been there a week, and she's not on a beach with Bruce, like, she can just kick it with... She's got the two nerdy boys on her tribe, like Drew and Brando, and Austin's secretly a nerd too. I think she's in a good spot. Actually, I can't wait to see her interact with Kendra. Spencer, the male version of Emily, could never. I can't think of like more different people than Emily and Kendra, and I'm really excited to see the two of them interact, because I don't think Emily's gonna go along with the like astrology woo woo the way that Kelly did, or just lie about her age like Katura. Oh, excuse me. What is the name of the girl who disliked Bruce? Wait, what do you mean? Katura? Katura and Bruce are still on the same tribe after the swap. But they're on a tribe with Jake and Kelly, so it's still 4 Bello members plus Caleb. So they're going to be chilling until the merge. Yeah, that's exactly what I'm saying. That's new Lulu, and I think Lulu's done going to tribal. Because you got Bruce, Jake, and Caleb, and Katura and Kelly. That tribe's not going to the merge. I mean, that tribe's not going to tribal before the merge. Caleb, you think, is the mergatory boot. Interesting. I mean, I guess it depends on... Who knows if they're doing their same, like, weird... split groups, split tribal bullshit that they've done these last several seasons that nobody likes. I mean, maybe. But it'll be curious to see earn the merge. But, like, if he's in the group that earns the merge, then he's fine. And then if he's doing individual immunity challenges, he might be okay for a little bit. I do think probably, like, the second after the merge that he is not safe, he is done. You actually don't mind, but you know you're in the minority, Mike. I think Rob put it really well, maybe last season. It was like, it's not the merge. We're just doing like 2 more episodes as 2 tribes. So just call it that. Like, don't call it the merge if it's not the merge. You've now split them into 2 tribes of 6. And then you merge it. You like actually merge at 11 or 10 or whatever it ends up being. Oh, thank you, Stream Elements, for welcoming me to the stream. I'm saying hi to Rudy. All right, shall we talk about Big Brother a little bit before we get started? A tribe swap without calling it one. Yeah, like if they just called it that, I think people would hate it less, actually. Because shifting my perspective on it that way to what Rob said actually did make me hate it a lot less. But like, then just call it what it is instead of trying to pretend it's this like stupid thing. I mean, fortunately they got rid of the hourglass because that was actual literal bullshit. That was the worst part about it, and I think that's what's left a bad taste in people's mouths. A tribe swap and then one worlding them. Like, fine, 2 tribes, 1 beach. Okay, do that for a couple episodes. That's interesting. I don't hate that at all. But I think people are burned by the hourglass twist, and so then you got rid of that, but you kept this mergatory period, and people still associate that with the hourglass twist, even if you're not doing it anymore. And that's where I feel like that's where we're at with it. Is there anything exciting to even say about Big Brother? Jags being messy. Has he put up America and Corey? Is that what's happening? It's certainly what the episode led us to believe last night. Like, Blue's gonna pull herself down. He's gonna pull Felicia down. Can we talk about the veto ceremony? Yeah, let's talk about it, please. What is there to say about it? You know, I haven't seen the veto ceremony. We spent an hour and 15 minutes yesterday watching Jag hang onto ropes and watching Felicia be alone in a room. Blue pulled herself down and he replaced her with America, and Jag vetoed Felicia to replace her with Corey. Okay. So they're up, and one of them is going. So how did they do the veto ceremony? Like, obviously, Jag is a public power of veto, and does the. But are the nominations still technically invisible, even though everyone in the house knows it's Jag? And I'm guessing the target is Corey. And this is great for Suri, that the 2 people she is, as she said, trying to work with, even though she has no allies in the house, have come off the block. Since Blue won the second veto, she went first. Once she saved herself, the BB announcer told the house the replacement. Okay. So Jag had told production somewhere, these are my replacement nominees, and then they did the veto part of the ceremony, and then the announcer, Jag, had to name the replacement before the ceremony. Okay, got it, sure. The Pittsburgher in me cannot help but think, what a jag. Like, what a drag? My brother went to school in Pittsburgh for 4 years, but I am not especially familiar with your local regionalisms. A jag-off. Oh, okay, so I've heard of a jag-off. Interesting. Okay, sure. A jag-off is a common term. So is it expected that Corey is going home tomorrow? I forgot about Bowie again. I was trying to count people on my fingers in my head. So not on my fingers, in my head. And I was like, so then there'd be 2 men and 4 women, but there's 7 people. Who am I forgetting? Bowie Jane, again. Still, can't remember she's on the show. After 10 plus weeks. Corey is currently wearing a pink suit, campaigning for votes. You think this is actual speech and debate? A pink suit. Oh, not the veto jumpsuit from last week, which he's been wearing. How much pink clothing does he own? It seems like everything he brought is pink. But it would be interesting. He's a tall Timmy Turner. Barely adult. He's technically an adult, but like only by a couple of years. That's very funny. Boy, but so now he's got a campaign against his girlfriend. It would be interesting to see America and Blue and Felicia and Suri team up. As much as I can't stand Blue and I need her off of my TV screen, Corey's going. Yeah, sure. Makes perfect sense. But like very strong possibility that Jag wins HOH again for next week, right? I know I saw Mike tweeted that he's tied with Cam for most comp wins this season. He was playing a decent game outside of opposing Suri. Who, Corey? He wasn't even really targeting Suri. Corey tried to scheme last night that upset Felicia. Well, I mean, they'd had their whole big blow up of the like Corey, America, Felicia fight that I found very sad and stressful just from listening to these conversations. Well, Corey got Jared evicted from the house. It is because of Corey that Jared went home. So if you count that as opposing Suri, then yes. But he's never specifically been against Suri, I don't think, as far as I recall. But I'm just a casual. I don't know. But if Jag wins HOH again, he always brings up Survivor to her. Yeah, he's irritating. But being an irritant and targeting her are two different things. And it also, unfortunately, doesn't really matter because she doesn't have a lot of power in the house right now, given that, A, she can't win comps, unfortunately. I hate to say it. I really do, but it just is true. And her social capital is much less than it used to be. I think she's still in a good spot, but she's not seen as having a lot of social power, which is important. Corey, when he talks, you can tell he wanted to beat Suri. Well, of course, who doesn't want to beat the greatest reality TV star of all time? As he says, should have been a 2-time winner of Survivor, Suri Fields. He knows what he's up against and what a big deal it would be to beat her, of course. But I don't think he has been targeting her the way, he never put her up. He put up Jared. That's the closest he's come to being directly against her. It is really wild that Bowie Jane is just sitting there. He would have put her up if Jared or Blue won the veto. Oh, the double eviction veto. Yeah. Yeah. True. There's always one, in every Big Brother season. She's just there, taking up space. It's really wild to me. The floaters. I mean, she floating. She's just... she's the most not on the show person I've, ever seen. It's astounding. Red probably had more screen time than her. Still... And he went home how long ago? And he wasn't even on the show that much. Yeah, grab a life vest, float along. I mean, I guess it's also who wouldn't want to sit next to her at the end, because even the week she was HOH, she wouldn't really play the game. FBJ rented her house out for the season, so she needed to make jury in order to have somewhere to live. That's really funny. Good for her. Way to make a strong, bet on yourself. And it worked out, obviously. She's made jury. I'm frustrated that America went and told the truth to Blue, and Blue was like, bitch, I don't believe you. I'm not buying any of this, and I'm going to go tell Jag exactly what you said. It's I don't know what she thinks her path to the end is, because she's not going to beat these boys in comps. But I don't know how any of them are ever going to get Matt or Jag up on the block, especially Jag at this point. It feels like he's just dominating things. But, sometimes Cameron didn't win, and then finally he went home. You may not agree, but I feel Blue is a better ally than Felicia for Suri. That might be true. I think that probably is true. I don't think Blue's a good player. I think Felicia's actually a better player. But Blue has more of a reason to be loyal to Suri than Felicia does. And Blue and Suri have never really had a falling out the way that Felicia and Suri did. They're still trying to work together out of necessity more than anything. But I think if they didn't have to, Felicia and Suri would not be working together. And if one of them can find a way to get the other out, they wouldn't be opposed to doing that, especially to further their own game. So that'll be... I think you're right. I don't like it. Not you being right. I don't like Blue being a better ally for Suri than Felicia, because I like Felicia so much, and I don't like Blue. But that doesn't change the reality of the relationships and the situation in the game at this point. I will never embrace the kitty kitty purr. Get her out of here. Get her away from me. I don't want to hear her say anything else. Make it stop. That's how I feel about the whole thing. Goodness, my sleepy baby. Draconian Progeny, hello. You are coming in, I think, right as we're winding down our reality TV talk for the afternoon. It is Survivor Day. It is Amazing Race Day. We are between Big Brother days. It's a very busy time for CBS reality TV. And if you didn't see my tweet, I tried to watch House of Villains. I can't do it, y'all. It's not for me. I made it as far as somebody not knowing Colette, what's her name? Colette? Something with a C? Not knowing who Corinne, that's it. I knew there was like a double letter in there. I made it as far as Corinne not knowing who Omarosa was, and Omarosa then ignoring her, and then Corinne calling her a bitch because Omarosa was being a bitch. And then I was like, and then I hit a commercial break and I was like, I'm done with this show. I can't. It is making me feel stupid and gross, so I gotta go. I don't want to watch Omarosa and Johnny Fairplay be good at anything. Hard pass for me. You'll watch any show with New York. I wish you all the best. I hope you have a lovely time. I want to throw up. We've started swimming conditioning on Monday, so we have Mondays and Wednesdays, so I'll probably be catching the Final Fantasy part of this stream on the VOD tomorrow. Oh, because it's Wednesday now. Yep. Well, we should have another Final Fantasy stream tomorrow, Mike. And then I am away for the weekend, so there will be no streams Friday through Monday. But let's jump into some Final Fantasy now.